Good evening, everyone. My name is Cherie Scott. I'm with Partner Colorado Credit Union. I appreciate you coming in this evening and getting this information that we're going to provide. I am the Member Engagement and Education Coordinator for the credit union. So I do all of these typical financial webinars and can provide any information that you may have afterwards. And please let me know if you need anything. We are going to record this so that this will be available to you. And if you have any questions or anything like that, please fill into the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and send this over to Kaylynn so she can provide you all the information this evening. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Again, my name is Kaylynn Hemlock. I'm with College Invest. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background about College Invest and who we are. College Invest is the administrator of the Colorado 529 college savings plans. We are a not-for-profit state agency. So I'm a state employee. We do not collect any taxpayer dollars, commission, or bonuses. We have over $11 billion under management right now and 380,000 accounts. We are one of the fastest growing programs. We're also one of the most well-respected programs in the nation. And I say that based on a website. This website is savingforcollege.com. And I have a resource page at the end that I'm going to give you guys so you can take a look at the different websites that I talk about. But on this website, what they do is they rate every state's 529 college savings program. And our program always receives a very high rating. And it's based on the usefulness and the benefits that we offer to our residents here in Colorado. All right, so today we are going to cover a little cost of college, saving versus borrowing, what is a 529, and the plan options. So one of the biggest reasons why it's so important to start saving for education expenses is cost. Cost of college is expensive right now. So here gives you an idea of what it costs to go to public in-state, public out-of-state, and private. And this is for 4 years of college. What they did and how they came up with these numbers is they took 14 different schools throughout the United States and they came up with the average cost. So today you can see public in-state is $90,000, and this does include tuition, fees, room and board. Public in-state is $90,000. Private is $206,000. 206,000 for private, and that's kind of like DU. And then you can see in 18 years from now, it's 218. Private is 497,000. So these numbers are, really high, and they can be overwhelming. I always tell parents, don't let them scare you. Every little bit is going to help your student. So every little bit that you can save can help pay for just tuition, just for fees, whatever it is. Again, every little bit will help your student. All right. So again, these are the cost of for 4 years. All right, and then saving versus borrowing. So this next slide is all about the borrowing piece and how your, savings is your money. Average student loan right now is $38,000. So if you had 18 years behind you to start saving, and you could put away $100 a month. So really it depends on how old your child is. But if you could do that, if you had a newborn baby, and you can put that $100 away a month, that would get you to $21,000, with your earnings being around $16,000. Now this gets you up to $38,000. And if you had to take that student loan out for $38,000, the interest on that is $7,600. Now your out-of-pocket cost is around $46,000, which is a lot, right? So if you're looking at that out-of-pocket, student loan now $46,000 versus if you just could have put that $100 a month. And I always tell parents, maybe it's just $50 a month. You know, again, it's whatever you can put away is going to help your student, but this would also help eliminate some of that student loan debt. So here again, taking a look at your savings versus that student loan, and then the difference between this out-of-pocket cost and your contribution is $24,000. All right, so really, again, we're just giving you why it's so important to start saving for education expenses and put away what you can. Now, there are several ways to save for education expenses, not just with a 529. There are Coverdales, Roth IRAs, US savings bonds, trust funds, taxable savings accounts, and then of course your 529 college savings plans. You know, so some of these other ways, you know, Roth IRAs, you can, everyone's pretty familiar with a Roth IRA. You got US savings bonds. I don't know if anyone had to take out a US savings bond growing up, but sometimes they take so long to receive any type of interest. You know, a Coverdale, you can, you know, walk into a bank and they offer Coverdale savings accounts, but they're good for K through 12. You know, with a 529, it's all after post-secondary education costs is a 529. But again, we want you to take a look at these different ways to save, do a comparison. We have this great comparison brochure. It's on our website at collegeinvest.org. So you can take a look at a 529 versus a Roth IRA, or a 529 versus, you know, a Coverdale, and do a side-by-side comparison. When you do that, you will see that the 529s come out to be one of the best ways to save. And the reason for that is because we don't have any income limits or age restrictions with a 529. So again, we want you to take a look at that, and this brochure is on our website. All right, but we're going to jump into what is a 529. 529s were created by the federal government under the IRS code 529. They're savings accounts. You are the account owner. Anyone can be the account owner. So you can be the parent, the grandparents, the aunt, the uncle. You can be saving for a niece or a nephew, yourself, if you wanted to go back to school. I had a question the other day about someone who did not have kids yet, but they're planning. And I said, yes, you can open up a 529 now. You can be the account owner and the beneficiary. So when you have your child, you would just change that over. So again, anyone can open a 529 plan. And then contributions are invested by professional investment teams. We have 4 different savings plans. Each one of them has their own professional investment team managing the funds for us. So College Invest does not do that. We have someone doing that for us. And I'll talk about who they are as we're going through each plan. All right, but we're going to jump into the benefits of a 529. So the first benefit that we offer to our residents here in the state of Colorado is the Colorado tax benefit. So your contributions that you make to your plan are after tax dollars. So anything that you contribute to your 529 has already been taxed on, but you get this great dollar for dollar state income tax deduction. So this is a great benefit back to you. So anything that you contribute, you can deduct off of your state taxes at the end of the year. There are some limits. The limits are $30,000 if you're married. So if you're filing, you know, as a joint couple, it's $30,000 per beneficiary. So you can contribute $30,000 for each child and deduct that. If you're a single person, it's $20,000. So again, you can put in up to $20,000 every year if you're filing as a single person, and deduct that off of your state taxes at the end of the year. So again, this is a great benefit back to you. And just to give you an idea of how it looks, it's right here on this College Invest savings side. So here what it does and how it works when you're filing is it reduces your AGI. Your AGI is your adjusted gross income. So this example is if your AGI was $65,000 and you contributed $5,000 for the year, your tax savings is $225. Now that might not seem like a lot, but it definitely adds up, and you don't get that benefit with any of those other ways to save for education expenses. So I always think it's such a great benefit back to you as a parent if you're contributing for your kids' education expenses, and really anyone. So even if you're the grandparent and you're doing this for a grandchild, you will get that state tax deduction as well. All right, you do get a federal tax advantage. You don't see this until the end. And what I mean by the end are your earnings grow tax-free. So as long as the money is used for qualified post-secondary education costs, you pull that money out, you pay for those expenses, you do not pay taxes on the earnings, and that is how your earnings grow tax-free. So again, you do not pay taxes on the earnings as long as that money is used for qualified expenses. What are qualified expenses? Anything that the school requires the student to have. So tuition, room, board, books, fees, computers, internet service, off-campus living. Again, it's anything that the school is requiring the student to have. You can pull money from your 529, pay for those expenses, and not pay taxes on the earnings. Which is a great, it's just really nice to be able to do that. And again, I always tell parents, if you're not sure, talk to the school, ask the school if they're requiring the student to have whatever it is, if it's equipment and things like that. But what about a non-qualified? So you do have to remember that this money is yours and you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to pull that money out and pay for student loans, you can. Travel expenses, K through 12, but those are considered a non-qualified expense. So there is going to be a penalty. There's a 10% penalty on the earnings. So not what you put in, but what was earned. And then of course you have to pay taxes because you never pay taxes on that money. All right, so that's qualified and non-qualified. These are self-reporting plans. So we do not ask to see all your receipts. We do not want to see your tuition and room and board and all of that. You hold on to everything in case you were ever audited. All right, some of the other key benefits, the beneficiary is flexible. You can change up the beneficiary at any time. So it can be changed to anyone within the bloodline, brother, sister, niece, nephew, aunt, uncle, yourself. If you wanted to go back to school, so you can change that beneficiary up to anyone within the bloodline. Owner control. So you being the account owner have full control of the money. You decide where it goes, and it can only go a couple of places. It can go directly to the school, or it can come back to yourself. And then you have control of your investments. You just, all of the, and that can be changed up at any time as well. So the ownership can always be changed. Money can be used at vocational schools, technical schools, community colleges, trade schools, and of course your four-year universities. Money can be used nationwide. So the money does not have to stay here. It can be used anywhere throughout the United States. And then $500,000 is the contribution limit per beneficiary. Okay, so your account cannot exceed that. All right, the savings plans. So the different plan options. So with College Invest, we offer 4 different savings plans. They're very different. I always tell parents when you're picking your plan, it really comes down to risk tolerance and maybe how old your child is. So the first plan that we offer is our direct portfolio plan managed by Vanguard. So Vanguard does all of the managing of the funds for us here. This is our most popular option. It's probably my favorite option. I like it because I like this age-based option here. So they have 3 different paths for you to choose from. You pick your path really depending on risk tolerance. So if I had a 3-year-old, I would probably pick the aggressive path just because that's my risk tolerance. So the money goes into something a lot more aggressive. And as the child is getting older, that money moves for you. So you do not have to do anything with it. And as it's moving, it's going into a different portfolio that's getting a little bit more conservative as the child is getting older, kind of what you want to happen. Because now they're, 18, 19, getting ready to go off to school, and that money is in something a lot more conservative, as you can see down here at the end, it kind of in the green, the light blue. It's in a lot of money market and bonds. All right, so that is direct portfolio managed by Vanguard. They also offer this blended and individual portfolio option. So here you can pick and choose up to 4 of these per beneficiary. So, again, you can pick and choose them. Just a quick example, I had a dad come in a couple of weeks ago, and he wanted to do the blended and individual portfolio option because he had like a 14-year-old and he wanted to do something a little bit more aggressive with his money. So what he decided is to go ahead and put 90% of his money in the aggressive growth portfolio and the other 10% in the growth portfolio. I did tell him everyone gets twice per calendar year to make an investment change. So you can always change up your investments twice per calendar year. And so he said, well, I might keep this way until she gets older, till she goes to college. I said, great, it's your decision. But this is a great way for him to be a little bit more aggressive with his money. The age-based option, because of her age, would have put him in something a little bit more conservative. But again, it really comes down to risk tolerance, and everyone's risk tolerance is different. So again, this is direct portfolio managed by Vanguard. It is $25 to open an account. After that, every time you make a contribution, it has to be at least $15. All right, so $25 to open. After that, every time you make a contribution, it has to be at least the $15. Everything is on our website at collegeinvest.org. That's how you open the account. It's very easy. You fill out the application, you are the account owner, the student is the beneficiary, and then you pick your allocations, exactly what we just talked about. So you have to pick, somewhere in the age-based option or the blended. So that is direct portfolio. Our next option, so this is our second option, this is our stable value plus option. This option here is managed by Nationwide. This is a very simple option. They guarantee this option, and how they guarantee it is they set a floor. So the floor is 1.5%. What that floor means is your interest rate will never go lower than that. It's currently earning, so every year they give it a set interest rate. So for 2022, it is 1.79. So if you were to open up a stable value plus account today, you're getting 1.79%. All right, that is reset every December 1st. So come December, they will reset it. Now it can go higher, it can go lower, but it never goes lower than that 1.5%. All right, with this plan, it's $25 to open an account. After that, every time you make a contribution, it has to be at least $25. So this one here's a $25.25. All right, so our next option, so this is our third option. You can walk into any First Bank and open a 529. They have a money market and a 1-year CD option. They're almost just like a regular savings account. You're earning about a 0.3% interest rate, all right? So really simple on that one. And then we have a Scholar's Choice plan. This plan here is managed by Nuveen and TIAA. Now with this one, you can only get it through a financial professional. So you have to be working with a financial advisor. If you're currently working with one, you want to make sure they're selling the Scholar's Choice plan so that you get all the benefits of our 529 plan. But again, you can only open up a Scholar's Choice plan if you're working with a financial advisor. Now, there are more fees involved because you are paying your financial advisor. I would never recommend you going out and getting a financial advisor just to open a Scholar's Choice plan, but I do have a lot of parents who are working with one and want to keep all of their investments together, and that's fine. All right, so that is the fourth option. Again, like I said, everything is very easy. It's all on our website. You click on the enroll button. It takes you to the 4 plans that we just talked about. All right, so collegeandbus.org, the 4 plans. If you're still not sure, you can click on the different plans here and it takes you to them, or you can just go right to the application. It takes about 15 minutes to open the account. Again, you're going to put in some information about yourself and then some information about the beneficiary. And really, you need a Social Security number to open up the account, so you'll want to have that ready. And then I do want to mention our First Step program. The First Step program is new. It opened up January 1 of 2020, and it is a way to help new families who are having babies. So any family having a newborn child after January 1 of 2020 is eligible for the $100 contribution to their College Invest account. Again, all you have to do is go to our website, click on the First Step little application. You have to fill that out and you will get the $100 into your account. So this is a great way to get that account started. And if you don't qualify, maybe you know someone who does. And because you are on today, you will get free starter accounts from College Invest. You will need to supply an email address and we will get you an email thanking you for being on here today. And we will go ahead and send that out and you'll be eligible for a $25 starter account. You do have to be on the webinar today in order to receive that $25. So if this is a recording, you will not be eligible for that. All right, oh great, thank you. Somebody did put their information inside of the chat, so I appreciate that. All right, and just to cover some questions, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll go ahead and answer those, but I do want to make sure that we did cover everything. Can I have more than one beneficiary or owner on an account? You cannot. There's only one place for one student, so you do have to open up separate accounts for each child. And there's only one place for one owner as well. What if my child gets a scholarship? So the nice thing about this is you can pull out up to the amount of the scholarship, avoid the 10% penalty, and only pay taxes on your earnings. So just a quick example, if my student received a $5,000 scholarship, I can pull out up to $5,000 out of my 529 college savings plan if I have that much in there. I can pull that out and only pay taxes on the earnings, and I can do whatever I want with it after that. How do I make a withdrawal? They don't make it hard. You can go to the website, get the forms, you can call the fund. So whatever fund you are, whatever fund you decide to go into, you can call them, have them send you money. It takes about 7 to 10 days to get your money. So they don't make it hard to get your money out. What if I move out of Colorado? The money goes with you, right? So you can transfer this. You can transfer it to another 529. That would be called a rollover. And there's no penalties or fees or anything like that. So you can always roll that from one 529 to another. And then where can I find more information about how much to save? We do have a calculator on our website. So it's really cool that you can go in there and you can plug in some numbers, kind of see how much you would be saving if you put in $50 for 5 years. So it's a really cool calculator. And I do have this resource page here. So if you guys want to take a look at the calculator, that's on our website at collegeinvest.org. It's also how you fill out the application to go ahead and get your account started. The 529 comparison tool, we talked about this at the beginning. If you want to compare state to state, you can do that at savingforcollege.com. And then if you want to find out what schools qualify, now almost every school out there qualifies. As long as they accept federal funding, which are student loans, they qualify. But there is a couple of websites that you can take a look at. One is the IRS database or the FAFSA.gov. All right. So those are a couple of the websites. I'll go ahead and leave that up just for a couple of minutes. So if you guys want to take a look, let's see here. Can you only change the beneficiary to bloodline? Can I give it to a granddaughter or goddaughter? So goddaughter, if they're not related, they do have to be blood, like I said, in the bloodline. So brother, sister, niece, nephew, aunt, uncle, then it would not. Now, I don't really know, I think there just might be some taxes. So if you wanted to go ahead and take that little bit of a penalty, you could do that. Or you can open up a separate one. So if you have a goddaughter and you want to open up another account, you can do that as well. And then my contact information. So here's all my contact information. Again, it's Kaylynn Hemlock, my email, and then our customer service number. All right, and let me know if you guys have any other questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Kaylynn. I'm going to actually put my information in the chat as well in case anyone needs it, and put my direct number and email. And were there any questions from anyone? I'd love to get those to Kaylynn right now while she's here. All right, I think we're all set then.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being on today.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate your time this evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.